Alright, so I got my provisions, gauging silver pellet. Put that down a bit. Turn down the volume on my heat a bit. Don't quite have time to go to the bank, so. Hey, who's that? That truck's pretty new, actually. It's dirty, but it's pretty new. That's a nice truck, that one. You just got it last year. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Alright. Hasn't warmed up that much, but warm enough. Get my butt in gear. So I'm going to go do a little bit of shoveling. And got like 2 decks, parking lot, and one of my clients, she didn't see me though. Probably because she's heading straight into the sun, that's why. Not as blinding driving this way. Turn out to be a nice day. In theory. Big hole in that roof. Where those trees were. I wonder what it cost him to get those cut down. Alright. Get my work done. Okay, so I was talking about drums in my last video. So to sort of complete the my basic studio, I need a drum kit, right? Because like programming drums is just not my thing. And I mean the program sound okay. That's not the issue. It's the gazillion hours it takes to copy and paste and stuff like that. And I can't remember exactly how to do it right each time. Read the manual like 10 times, and it just, you got to be a rocket scientist to figure out the drums on the BR 1200 past the basics. But that's okay, because even with my acoustic drums in my BR 1200, like I was saying in a previous video, that sucker can track the drums, which means it can, if you take a real drummer, like we'll use Neil Peart as example, you know, really phenomenal drummer, right? Human metronome. But when you bring him into the studio, he's going to make mistakes. Maybe not a lot of mistakes, but a little bit of mistakes. So even if a beat is out by like 10,000th of a second, it's out, right? But if you can bring it into 100,000th of a second, those drums are going to sound so tight, and you basically get perfect drums, still using the creativity of a live drummer, which people of like, say John Bonham. Now, what I'm about to say here is just factual. It's not picking on John Bonham. Everybody loves John Bonham, you know. But there's many Led Zeppelin songs that the tempo at the beginning of the song is 30 beats faster by the end of the song. Like, some snowmobilers. Always got to be cautious with them, because you never, like, you see like 2 of them going across the road looking both ways, and then the third guy usually is trying to play catch up, and he goes by at about 70 miles an hour crossing the road. So if he times it right, you're gonna, either he hits you or you hit him. So I tend to like to slow the traffic down behind me, just in case of that, right? Gotta be attentive on the road. Attentive on the road. But anyway, drums. I can imagine like anything. I've only got 2 mics to record with, so I'm not probably going to get stellar drums in the sense of tone-wise for the first little bit, but I'm probably going to get some really nice drum beats, right? And I've been working on my drum fundamentals. You don't need a drum kit to do that. A drum pad will work, suffice. If not, your knee works just as good. It's just pace yourself, because your knee's going to get a little bit sore whacking it with sticks all the time. But plus, you don't get the bounce off your knee that you get off of a drum. But yeah, the 40 fundamentals, I'll go over those. As far as the foot stuff, you can't really practice that without the beaters, right? So, but I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to start off with the double bass, because, like, for me, there's no point in just starting with one single pedal and then going to a double bass later on. I'll just start there and just start with building the fundamentals. Now, you'd say, oh, a beginner drummer shouldn't do that. Well, there's a difference between a beginner drummer with 0 experience and an already accomplished musician in terms of learning an instrument, like a multi-instrumentalist approaching it. Because a multi-instrument, like, I know how to learn, so I'm not going to learn bad fundamentals and bad habits right from the get-go. I know that. Build it up, proper techniques right from the get-go, so you never have to unlearn stuff. And this is what happens to guitar players particularly. Well, what happens to guitar players, they learn bad habits and they can never advance above their bad habit. Drummers, they injure themselves. Like they injure their hands, and they get carpal tunnel, repetitive motion problems. Like, if it's more of how you practice than what you practice. You know what I mean? So, for me, it's more of a case of I don't need to worry so much about will I get it or not? You know what I mean? Like the double bass, like a lot of there's one pro drummer, like this guy's like freaking phenomenal metal drummer, and he's like, if I can't play the note, if I can't play the note properly, I simply just don't play it, right? And I understand what he's saying. Like, make it sound good. So my first time you hear me playing the double bass, I'm probably not. I've tried it before, in music stores just to see what it's about. Yeah, it'll take you a little while to get that. But one good day on the double bass, just doing basic drills, right, will set you up to play a song. No, you're not going to be playing at 300 beats per minute, but you might be doing like 60, 80, nice steady, like a nice steady just thumping away, machine gunning, like nice slow machine gunning, right? And once you do that, that's where you start. And then, 3 weeks later, you're doing it at 120 beats.